Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. We'll be looking at some stories making the round in the world of sport this evening, and we'll be starting from Paris 2024 Olympic Games. How we continue to look at Nigerian Team Nigeria in various sports, how they will be performing and their level of preparation towards the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. And we'll be starting with weightlifting. We're going straight to the weightlifting federation, where our lifters has resumed, has gone into intense camping, really getting prepared for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, where we tend to win some laurels, some medals for the country. That is, Nigeria weightlifters begin training. The likes of we have the likes of Lawa and Eze. They are the only two lifters that have qualified for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. And when the 2024 May rankings of the International Wrestling Federation came out, only Lawa and Eze were the only two lifters that qualified to appear, to participate. That is in Paris, France, ahead of the games to be held in Paris next month. The duo of Lawa Rufiat Folashade and Eze Joy Ogbonene have started intense training. The two of them were the only one that appeared on the International Weight Lifting Federation rankings, and with their rankings where they stand on the ranking 24, and they made it through. They made the cut of weightlifters that will be going to the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. And congratulations to the likes of Folashade and co of actually getting that nod to represent Nigeria when it comes to weightlifting at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Like I said, we're actually on our sports show, we're actually extracting how Team Nigeria are preparing in various sports. Now, weightlifting, they've gone into a campaign, and you know what it is. When you prepare when you fail to prepare, that means then you prepare to fail. But we don't really want to see that, and that is why Team Nigeria is doing all they can, and also with the support coming in from the sport ministry, to see that Team Nigeria do so well at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. It's just the games is less than 40-something days away from now. That game will be starting in France, that is Paris, France, where we have weightlifters, wrestling, football, that is women's football, basketball, athletics, and badminton, who have all qualified for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. And it's looking so good for our athletes, for Team Nigeria, because all of our athletes, individual sports and what have you, are doing so well. Just the course of the week, over the weekend, we have our jumper who will be there, high jump, who made it through. That is additional. With Temitope additional will be representing Nigeria when it comes to high jump in Paris. The last time we had a high jumper at the Olympic Games was in 2016. That is Amata Doran. But this time around, we have another person who will be representing Nigeria. That is additional. Temitope additional will be representing Nigeria after jumping 1.97 meters over the weekend right there at the Texas and Tech event in United States of America. So a whole lot is going on for Team Nigeria, and we're happy that our team is doing so well to get themselves prepared to do well at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Still talking about Team Nigeria doing so well in Paris, let's go straight to this story, and we'll be stopping by at the Nigerian Badminton Federation, NPFL, where we have our African #1, Nigeria #1 when it comes to badminton, Anu Oluwapo Opeyori, who hits Italy for intensive camping. We know that Anu Oluwapo has dominated badminton scene on the continent of Africa since 2019, winning 2 African Games titles, winning 4 African Championship titles, and also secured that is Paris 2024 Olympic Games sport last month. So back to back, he will be representing Nigeria. The last time there is in Tokyo 2020, Anu Oluwapo Opeyori was there representing Nigeria in badminton, and it's a good thing. For the first time, we're having badminton, as in we're having a representative in badminton at the Paris, the Olympic Games back to back. So Anu Oluwapo Opeyori, as we speak, hits Italy for intensive training camp, where he's going to be mastering all his skills, dotting the I's and crossing the T's to see how he can surpass, because the last time out in Tokyo, he didn't go past the group stage. Even the classification game, he couldn't win, but he wants to get better. After dominating the African scene, he wants to showcase the world that he has got what it takes to do so well when it comes to a world stage. And you know, Paris Games is one of the biggest sporting events in the world, so everybody wants to appear in Olympics. So that is what Anu Oluwapo Opeyori is doing right now, going straight to Italy, and we also want to say kudos to the president of that federation, that is Paul Obi, for making sure Anu Oluwapo Opeyori gets the best of preparation ahead of the games that will happen next month in Paris, France. So for Anu Oluwapo Opeyori, he just have to go there and repay the faith put in him by the Nigerian Badminton Federation and the Sports Ministry, supporting all of our individual athletes and then our team sports that will be at the Paris Games. All right, let's leave that story. Still talking about Nigerian individual athletes doing so well. Let's look at one particular story this evening. We'll go straight to athletics, where Favour Ofili, the lady who led the quartet that qualified for as the Bahamas relays that qualified Nigeria women's 4x100-meter relay team for the Paris Games. She led that quartet there, but right now she has turned her attention to the Nigerian Athletics Federation Olympic trials after she did so well at the New York Grand Prix, beating the likes of the world champion, Olympic champion Thompson Hera to win that particular race at the New York Grand Prix, where she clocked a time of 11.18 seconds to come first in 100 meters. And she will be representing Nigeria in 200 meters at the Paris Olympic Games, but she has to come down to Nigeria for the trials. She has already qualified the team, that is the Nigerian 4x100-meter relay team for the Paris Games, when the Bahamas relays was on just months ago. So right now, the Nigeria Olympic trial will also happen at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in Benin City from 16th of June, just days away from now. It's going to be a 4-day event, 16th to the 18th of June. That event will be happening at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in Benin City. So all of our athletes, individual track talents will be coming back to Nigeria to actually participate at the Nigerian Olympic trials, where we have to select athletes that will be representing us in all of the races that will be showcasing at the Paris Games. And also we have the trials will also serve as a selection for the African Championship, that is the African Athletics Championship, that will be holding between June 21st and to 28th in Cameroon, Douala, precisely Cameroon, and the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, which will hold from July 26th to August 11th. So you know what it is. A whole lot will be happening at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in Benin City, where the track will be filling the spikes of the likes of Favour Ofili, Toby Amuson and co, where they will be storming Nigeria for the Nigerian Athletics Federation Olympic trials. And also it will be an avenue to select athletes that will be representing the country at the African Athletics Championship in Douala, Cameroon. So a whole lot will be going down in Benin City, and I believe our athletes they are also battle ready to showcase what they've got ahead of the Paris Olympic Games. For Favour of Philly, young, enterprising, fantastic athlete. Ever since she came on board to the scene, she has been doing so well for herself and then for the nation, Nigeria. All right, let's leave athletics, let's leave Olympics and what have you. Let's go straight to the Nigerian Premier Football League, where after what happened between Enugu Rangers and Enyimba of Aba in match day 35 of the Nigerian Premier Football League, now the league body has come out with their own verdict, with their own hammer on these two teams. Enyimba has been fined 10 million naira, deducted 3 points for their behavior on March the 35 at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium in Enugu State. But before we go further on this story, let's quickly look at the highlights of those videos. First thing first, what happened? The goal, the penalty that was awarded by the referee, and after that, we will now look at the fans' reaction. We'll look at all of this, why they have been fined and why the fine is coming into place. Let's have those videos back to back.
Stephen sends a low cross into the part of Chiabere. All it was Gordon Obaje, who was through on goal. It looks like he was in an offside position. All we've got is a bit of a crowd trouble here at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium. We've got some bit of a crowd trouble here. The Enyimba players are having a go at the fans.
This is what the Enyimba players should have been doing. You shouldn't get into this because you cannot withstand the fans. You should just look for a way to just get off that place and enjoy the football game. There must have been something, maybe thrown at a player, one of them being attacked.
Was an offside decision
when that ball was played.
Yes, the hands was up.
It's not stopped them since then, but this time around it's about the decision being taken.
Well, central referee John Ojele is with the match ball. It drops it to the penalty spot. It is indeed a penalty awarded to the Flying Antelopes.
It's a lot to bring these players back on the pitch. I don't know if
call it full time and wait for the final verdict from the league's body, because this doesn't look like the penalty will be taken.
Those were the ugly scenes at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium in Enugu State, where Enyimba International of Aba and Enugu Rangers in March day 35 actually had issues. The referee actually awarded the penalty at first. I think the referee had to, maybe it was an offside, the referee called at first, but after looking at the assistant referee AR2 beside the line, and he actually had to award penalty. And for Enyimba International of Aba players, they walked off the pitch and they didn't make a return. And after that, you saw that video of the crowd trooping into the pitch, and both teams have been fined by the Nigerian Premier Football League organizers, having looked at their wrongs. But this time around, I think they have been found wanting, and Enyimba of Aba have been fined 10 million naira and also deducted 3 points. But for Enugu Rangers, they've been awarded 3 points and 3 goals for in that particular game. But they also incurred a fine. The fine is that they will pay 5 million naira first 2 million naira for the crowd for ticketing. At least they sold that ticket, that game's ticket, out of they actually sold quite a number of tickets, exceeding the required number of tickets they were supposed to sell, and at the same time for not able to control their fans, for not providing adequate security, allowing their fans to come into the pitch. But for Enyimba, they were fined for the players for walking out, for walking off the pitch, abandoning the game by themselves. And these are some of the ugly scenes we're not supposed to be seen in Nigerian football. When something of this nature happens, it doesn't look healthy for Nigerian league, a league that we're trying to see how it can grow, and we're having issues and situations like this. It doesn't really sell our league out there in good manner. And for Enyimba of Aba, I think the players actually took laws into their hand. I've never seen anywhere where a team will walk off the pitch because a referee actually made a call they don't like. They would have stayed back and even see if that penalty would be converted. If they can actually go back, when Chelsea and Barcelona met in the Champions League, there are a lot of, I remember that referee from Norway, Tom Rebel, was the center referee on that night, and Chelsea players, a lot of calls for penalty, it was ignored. I didn't see Chelsea players, the likes of Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, John Terry and co, walking off the pitch, that the referee didn't award a penalty against Barcelona. So these are some of the things we don't really want to see in our league. And for the league organizers, Nigerian Premier Football League body, for coming up with this sanction, I think is a way forward. It will serve as a deterrent to other teams if they actually want to go by the way Enyimba did. And I could remember the way they sanctioned Kano Pillars, deducted their 10 points, and that is why at some point Kano Pillars was relegated to the Nigerian National League because of some of this kind of behavior. And for Enyimba, this was not this is not a sign of a good team that has won the Nigerian Premier Football League 9 good times. They are the highest winner of the league in the country. 9 times is not a fluke, but acting this way is uncalled for, and it's not something we expect with Enyimba International of Aba. It's actually a good one coming in from the Nigerian Premier Football League organizers by sanctioning both teams. Let them feel the heat, and that is the way to go. They have 48 hours to actually appeal this sanction. But if I have my way with the Nigerian Premier Football League, I would say this sanction should stay so that other teams will learn a lesson from this particular action. Before we go on that on this show, we'll actually bring back that video for your viewing pleasure. All right, let's move away. I'm going to talk about 2 transfers story in Europe. Let's start with Brighton. Brighton to announce Fabian Huzela as their new manager after he was able to bring back St. Pauli. He actually promoted St. Pauli from German Bundesliga 2 to the main league in Germany, that is the Bundesliga in Germany. Now, for Brighton, they are to announce, and if everything goes by, he's going to be the youngest manager in Premier League history. Fantastic young man after doing so well with St. Pauli in German Bundesliga 2. Now, the Brighton is expected to announce him as their new manager as soon as possible, so that they can at least know their headway and get the way forward. All right, quickly, let's take this last one, where Barcelona and Manchester United show interest in João Palhinha. For actually getting this guy on their books. It's a good thing that these two great clubs are going for João Palhinha, a player that is respected so much. He's a midfielder for Fulham in the English Premier League. All right, like I said, this is where we'll be leaving it on the show. But before we go, we will leave you with that video, the highlight of that particular incident, the penalty appeal and what have you, and then the crowd trooping on into the stadium at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium in the Nigerian Premier Football League match day 35 between Rangers International and Enyimba of Aba in the Nigerian Premier Football League. That is it on the show. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Say thanks for watching.
Ikenna Stephen sends a low cross into the path of Chiabere. All it was Gordon Obaje, who was through on goal. It looks like he was in an offside position. Oh, we've got some bit of a crowd trouble here at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium. Oh, we've got some bit of a crowd trouble here. The Enyimba players are having a go at the fans.